Shivers right up my fucking spine.
Call of Duty World at War was part of the golden age of COD, you know, between 2007 to 2013, you know, because the last DLC for Black Ops 2 came out in 2013. And so, yeah, this game is arguably the best World War II game in the actual franchise itself. You know, Call of Duty World War II sucked. I don't know why people keep saying it's good. I recently played it. It still sucks ass. Call of Duty Vanguard's mediocre. World at War itself is basically a masterpiece, just like every Call of Duty game between 2007 to 2013. We don't count Ghost as a masterpiece because, you know, like I said, late 2013, you know, like the summer of 2013, not November time. So, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I consider this game to be a masterpiece, you know, and it's arguably the most important game in the franchise besides Call of Duty 4. It did what COD 4 did in its multiplayer and brought it into the World War II setting. And it, you know, it also has a very unapologetic campaign. And of course, as everyone knows, the really addicting Nazi Zombies mode. Like, most of my time spent on World at War, well, PC or PlayStation 3, it's always going to be zombies, Der Riese, especially Der Riese. So, yeah, for sure everyone agrees with me there. Everyone's time was mainly just spent on Der Riese, basically. And there's a lot of world records going for Der Riese high rounds now. Anyways, yeah, oh man. So this game is a masterpiece in its own right, and I'm going to tell you why in this video. Alright, so I said that it had an unapologetic campaign. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, this game could care less. You see, since while everyone has been getting soft and saying, you know, trying to avoid controversies and shit like that, you know, in the golden age of COD was, you know, oh, I don't know, not afraid to take risks. I mean, look at Modern Warfare 2's No Russian Mission. Yeah, they took a risk there and showed and had you play as a secret undercover agent, killing civilians and stuff. Yeah, they weren't afraid to show that and stuff. Yeah, and in World at War, they weren't afraid to show, oh, I don't know, swastikas in the multiplayer maps and zombies maps as well. They didn't care if the game was banned in Germany. They also showed a bunch of horrific war crimes and horrors of war, and a bunch of blood and gore. Yeah. So, you can already tell, this game has this game's balls just dragging across the floor, like scurrying around. Yeah. So, yeah. This game, it is very unapologetic, even in the multiplayer, and even in zombies. But especially in the campaign. First things first, the campaign. So the campaign shifts between two fronts. You play as Private Miller. He's infiltrating Japanese bases, you know, fighting in the Pacific Theater. And then you play as Private Dmitry Petrenko, a Russian soldier who's fighting the Nazis in the Eastern Front, alongside everyone's favorite character, Viktor Reznov. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the campaign, I just want to mention something. The art style of this game. So the style of this game, well, this is probably something I haven't mentioned before in my Call of Duty campaigns, but the art style of this game, it is very unique. Alright, so the whole thing has a washed out color scheme, but once you get to the color red, it is vivid, like the color of blood. They wanted that to stand out. And like, fire and stuff, those effects don't really stand out that much, but like, the color red in this game is supposed to stand out, meanwhile everything else has a washed out color scheme. Which I think is very unique in the franchise. It is the only game in the franchise that has this color palette in it. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that before you get into the campaign. Oh, and another thing, I just want to say, the cutscenes in this game, man, they are simplistic, but they get the job done. They're woven, it's just real world footage woven in with some fancy editing and some CGI, which I think is a really nice touch. Alright, time to talk about the campaign. So the campaign opens up with a heroic speech and, you know, the US retaliating against Japan for Pearl Harbor. So you play cut to Private Miller. You're captured. One of your fellow soldiers, his throat is slit. You're about to get killed, then you get rescued. And then it's time to tear this place apart. And then afterwards, you know, you attack and you get away. And then after this, you're infiltrating Japanese bases. So that's what you're doing for basically the entirety of the American side. However, the American side, it doesn't really have that much story. All it has is, well, it's seen as a side for gameplay. Like I said in my Vanguard review, you're facing with Japanese who, hiding in hidden holes in the ground, ghillie suits and stuff, bonsai charges, and a lot of trees. I mean, Vanguard, there's like only one Japanese person who was in a tree, so you had to take them down. But in this game, they're like all over the place in the trees and stuff, and it's just, oh man, it gets frustrating. And also, in the unlike the Call of Duty Vanguard like mission Battle Midway, you've got in this game when you're fighting Japanese in like the Black Cats mission, you've got them freaking kamikazing their planes in and stuff like that. Yeah, crazy. So they will do every tactic in the book to try and stop you. Guerrilla warfare. Anyways, yeah, so that's basically it for the American side. They have like just gameplay and you're infiltrating Japanese bases trying to capture Okinawa and stuff like that. Cut to the Russian side of the campaign and stuff like that. And holy shit, it is brutal. It really dives into the Russian perspective of the war. So, you play as Dmitry Petrenko. You're in this like fountain, and you cheat death and link up with Reznov. You're just some soldier who's been, left to die in the middle of Stalingrad, but, cheat death, link up with Reznov, and, a whole bunch of horrific shit ends up happening. What I mean by this is, well, in this game, unlike the past World War II games and the OG Call of Duty games, and most of the newer ones, the Germans, they aren't full-on trying to go after you. See, in the Russian side of things, you play as the Russians, and the Germans are scared shitless. You're going after them with, like, you play as all these angry Russians, and they're going in, showing no mercy, just like how the Germans showed them, which, well, it is, the Germans are freaking scared, so they're trying to hold their ground, and then, however, the Russians do what the Russians do, and full-on go full force at them. And, yeah, war crimes being committed, horrors of war, and a whole bunch of blood and guts. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also, I need to mention that, there's also this really cool tank mission in this game. So you're going around this tank mission on the Russian side, and it has you can maneuver your tank in however you want. Unlike in like the newest COD games where there's just on-rails turret sections. And yeah. However, I'm just gonna mention this Russian side of things, it is also not just meant for the horrors of war and to show what players what war is really like, it's also to show them just a great story. Now, it doesn't really just show, like, what I mean by the story is, well, it shows a story between Chernov, Dmitry Petrenko, and Reznov. It shows how they interact and stuff like that. It shows also how all the Russians interact with each other, and, how they look at the Germans and stuff like that. It's not a story like Black Ops 1, or Black Ops 2, or Modern Warfare games, but the story is gets the job done nonetheless, because gosh dang, there is a lot of brutal shit that happens in the Russian side of things. And I will, alright, let's just talk about the story. So the American side of things. So, like I said, Private Miller gets, he gets saved and stuff, then he infiltrates a place. The next mission, Little Resistance, there's actually this cool ray gun Easter egg, by the way, you can actually do. You just go to these, like, puddles here, and you're standing in this big one, and then you get, like, a, ray gun. And stuff like that. It's really cool. I'd be asking, why are there these 4 statues that spawn in here where you can get a ray gun from? Oh, did I mention that this game has the first cooperative campaign? The only other game that has a cooperative campaign is Black Ops 3. So this is the actually base. No, I don't count Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3, we don't count that thing as a Call of Duty campaign. That campaign sucks. It's so confusing. Yeah, we'll just count this as the only one. So this game actually has the only cooperative campaign that is good, might I add. That is really fun to play with friends. Yeah, you can play split screen or just online co-op play with friends in this campaign. And I think it is really, really cool. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the level design in this game is really good. I mean, might not be as open as the previous, like the OG COD games, but it is more open than what Vanguard and Call of Duty World War II has. It's probably one of the only games in the COD franchise that has these types of open levels. The trenches in the American side of things are very unique, and there's not a lot of invisible walls. You can mantle basically over a lot of things. There's barely any invisible walls and stuff. And yeah, it's got a pretty open campaign. It might not be perfect level design, but it is a really good level design. It is great. Not perfect, but great. Anyways, back to the story. So, in the second mission, Little Resistance, you're going around and, you know, clearing this Japanese place out and stuff. And you're having to, like, take out all these gunners and stuff. And in this mission, you know, Sergeant Sullivan or whatever gets killed, and then Roebuck then takes over. Then we move on to the third mission, where we're tasked with taking out a Japanese airfield, which is what happens. This map, this third mission, is what the map Airfield and the Zombies map Nocturne Totem are based on, so yeah, pretty cool. And then in the fourth mission, the first Russian mission of Call of Duty World at War, you're just some, you're Left 4 Dead and stuff like that, and you cheat death with Reznov. And Reznov, this whole mission, Reznov teaches you to be patient, wait for your target, and to snipe, and wait, and then snipe them and stuff like that. It's really, really cool, and the pacing of this mission is really perfect. Oh, and might I add that all the missions are the perfect freaking length. When they, they're all the perfect length. When they feel like they're about to get boring and crap, they end, and then you move on to the next. It is, oh man, this game is just perfect. So back to where we were. Fourth mission afterwards, escape some that badass scene where Reznov and you jump out of the burning building, and you're going on the offensive against the Germans, and then you have to take out this German officer, and once again being patient and stuff and waiting for him to run and stuff. Oh yeah, might I add that German officer, Edward Richtofen zombie model. Just saying. In the fifth mission, World at War, you're of course playing as Dmitry Petrenko 3 years later, and well, there are some war crimes that then end up happening. So they captured by Germans, and then once Reznov comes in, Chernov's just like they're already bleeding to death, and Reznov's like, well, then maybe our friend will help them bleed faster and crap.
Dmitri, finish those rats! Once again, you cheat death. Our tanks are ready to smash this line, and... Chernov! I am not hearing gunshots!
There is no point, Sergeant. They are already bleeding to death.
Then maybe our friend will help them bleed faster. For the wheat fields! There will be no escape!
Over time, Reznov and the other Russians get super bloodthirsty. They, there's fighting between them and stuff on what is moral and what is right. And Reznov believes it is the right thing to be as merciless as the Germans, and stuff. And yeah, it gets pretty extreme sometimes. This campaign scared, well, first time I played it actually, and it did scare me. I first played it when I was like 10 years old. I'm still playing as I'm 14 now, but man, this campaign was scary when I was younger. Anyways, you, Reznov, Chernov, and a whole bunch of other angry Russians are going through places in Germany, going further into the heart of the Reich. So yeah, that's the whole point of this mission. You're just going through an entire place. So the next mission, Burn 'em Out. We're given this cool, sick flamethrower, and yeah, this is the mission where a bunch of snipers, we first see a whole bunch of snipers in trees. So yeah, and you're tasked with clearing out 3 mortar pits, so that's the whole point of this mission, clearing them out. So once again, you're dealing with bonsai charges and, of course, snipers in the trees. I love all these gameplay innovations. Well, they were really good for the time. I mean, I didn't play COD in 2008 because I was only 1. But man, still playing it to this day, it still amazes me that CODs don't have as much innovation as World at War does. So in this next mission, you're tasked with taking out massive flank guns, allow the Navy to get through, and, get ambushed on tanks, so you have to fight through a whole bunch of Japanese soldiers to get to the black cannons. And that's the whole point of this mission. Yeah. Next mission after this is Blood and Iron. So, like I said, there's very cool tank mission. You can use flamethrowers on people. You can shoot targets from far away. You have so much room to maneuver your tank. It's awesome. Unlike the Neurocon games today. And here, oh yeah, and at the end of this mission is another really cool scene that everyone loves.
Fortune smiles on us. In Berlin, the Germans will truly see what they have unleashed. In the midst of all the blood, the bullets, and the dead, I found that an old friend was still very much alive. Dmitry Petrenko. I saw this man cheat death, time after time at the siege of Stalingrad. As long as he lives, the heart of this army cannot be broken. He makes us all proud.
The mission after that, we're storming Silo Heights. And might I add that this has to have one of the most famous speeches in video game history. Like, this always sends shivers right up my spine. Yeah. This whole mission you're just storming through the city to get closer to Berlin. Man, this speech just sends shivers up my spine.
The citizens of Berlin, every obstacle around your rotten city. We will crush all who dare to resist the will of the Red Army. Abandon your posts! Abandon your homes! Abandon all hope! Hurrah!
So in this next mission, we're finally in Berlin. And might I add that this mission also starts off with a chilling war crime at the start.
Töten Sie mich nicht!
Mercy do not deserve mercy! Wait! He may come help us! Just die for us! Muda! This is not war! This is murder!
Chernov, shut the fuck up.
It's how you end the war, Chernov!
So in this next mission, we're going through Berlin. And, well, there's a bunch of crazy crap that happens. You go into the subway tunnel when there's like an artillery strike. You go in there, and you're fighting through the Germans. However, they flood the subway tunnel, and just to try and stop you because they're that desperate. In the next mission, Black Cats, you're playing, as someone on a plane, and it's like sort of an on-rails turret section, but not at the same time. You can move through different turrets at will, depending on, not depending on when you want, but when the Japanese show up. And there's a lot of, you got kamikazes, and you've got like PT boats and everything you need to take out and stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. In this next mission, your whole goal is to take out 3 Japanese bunkers on Okinawa, and then you move on to Shuri Castle afterwards. Well, that's the next mission. Yeah, so basically you're going around, using flamethrowers on the Japs again, and taking out bunkers. And that's about it for this mission. In the final American mission, you're playing, you're at Okinawa, you're going to get more supplies, and you get ambushed by the Japanese. You have to fight through all of them and take Shuri Castle. And depending on who you try to save, there's like this part where Japanese soldiers surrender to them. Roebuck and Polonsky go check them out, and depending on which Japanese soldiers you shoot, you'll either save Roebuck or Polonsky. And then, Roebuck is like screaming no, and then however, if Polonsky survives and Roebuck dies, Polonsky goes freaking mental on all the Japanese and just goes freaking insane. And yeah, then you end up taking Shuri Castle and stuff, and that's about it for the American side of the campaign.
Shuri Castle.
And then you go back to the Russian sides afterwards.
All of us.
You will be okay. Do you hear me? They flooded their own metro in an effort to kill us, Dmitri. But once again, they failed. Once more, we cheat death. You will be okay. Relax for a few minutes. Breathe deeply. Which do you think will lead us home? Writing about this war or fighting it?
Germany in the blood
No one will ever read this! If you lack the stomach to kill for your country, at least show me that you are willing to die for it!
In this mission, it's about storming even deeper into the heart of the Reich. And the whole point of this mission is to storm through even more Berlin to try and reach the Reichstag. And Chernov ends up dying in this mission. Rezdov ends up having a change of heart, gets his, war journal, and takes it with him, saying someone should read it. And yeah, then this is when the mission ends. Cuts to the final mission. We cut to the final mission, where we are storming the Reichstag. And you, playing as Dmitry Petrenko, one out of 13 million Russian soldiers, are the one to plant the flag atop the Reichstag. And this ending is just epic as hell. The music and shit, man, it is glorious. It has got to be one of the best Call of Duty campaign endings I think I've ever seen. Oh man, I love it so much. And then after this, the credits start rolling, and, well, that's about it for the campaign.
You can make it, my friend. You always survive. The honor should be yours. As long as you live. The heart of this army can never be broken. Things will change, my friend. As heroes, we will return to Russia's embrace.
Then after that is a ending that always sends shivers right up my spine.
Solemn. General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The victory won in the West must now be won in the East.
Gathered here representatives of the major warring powers to conclude a solemn agreement whereby peace may be restored. It is my earnest hope, and indeed the hope of all mankind, that from this solemn occasion a better world shall emerge out of the blood and carnage of the past. A world founded upon faith and understanding. Of man and the fulfillment of his most cherished wish for freedom, tolerance, and justice.
That ending, goddamn, is, oh man, that always just sends shivers up my spine. And after all, it just reminds you what World War II was. That 60 million lives were lost, and it was the most destructive conflict in human history. And yeah, that message at the end and that music for the ending gosh, man, it is probably one of the greatest endings in video game history, if I'm being honest. After this, once the credit starts rolling, you basically just try to relax after, you know, that freaking tingly ending with that music that freaking sends shivers up my spine, man. That's, actually, it sends shivers up all of our spines. Ugh. And then after this, well, after beating the campaign, you get a bonus mode called Nazi Zombies. That, quite frankly, wasn't supposed to exist, but it was a passion project that the developers made for fun. And you know what else the community thought? It was really freaking fun to play. Now, how does it stand up, like, how does it compare to modern Call of Duty Zombies? Well, it holds up pretty freaking well. Nocturne Totem is a bit super outdated. It's, like, very, yeah, it's bare bones. However, if you look at Verrückt, it is still scary as usual. Look at Shi No Numa, it is, well, very easy as usual. And Darius, oh my gosh. Yeah, Darius is still a masterpiece of a map. Don't get me wrong, all these maps are really good, but Darius is always going to be the best map on World at War. And here's the thing, people actually played World at War mainly just because of zombies. Not because of multiplayer, but because of zombies. Literally, mostly everyone's time was spent playing World at War was on zombies. Well, everyone who still played World at War, yeah, the multiplayer didn't have people didn't really think it was good, so they went back to COD 4 because they didn't really like the World War II setting that much. However, zombies, everyone who played World at War during like 2009 before Modern Warfare 2 came out, yeah, they were all playing zombies. Like, all of them were. And it was insanely fun as well. Like, people wanted to see how people wanted to see how far they could get, like, what high rounds they could get to and stuff like that. And yeah, getting to like round 30 in 2008 was like unheard of, but now it's like a standard in Call of Duty. I mean, I get to it most of the time while playing like Shadows of Evil or The Rising Drac. But man, zombies, everyone was talking about zombies. Like, basically the entire Call of Duty community who still played World at War was talking about zombies. And, well, you know, Nocturne Tone and Verrückt didn't have characters who voiced. I mean, Nocturne Tone didn't have any dialogue from characters. However, Verrückt did. And the characters always talked like they were badass, which didn't really suit the map because it was supposed to be a horror theme, but whatever. It's cool. However, when Shi No Numa was gonna release, Activision gave them the green light to go all out, so they hired 4 very famous voice actors. You've got Nolan North, Tom Kane, and I forget the other 2 names. I don't actually, well, I know their names, but I just don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to butcher their names, I'm too afraid to do it, because they are legendary. Yeah, so you got Nolan North, who voices Edward Richtofen, Tom Kane, who voices Takeo, and the other 2. They voice Nikolai and Dempsey. And Nikolai, Dempsey, Takeo, and Edward Richtofen were really funny and silly characters, and the entire community fell in love with them right off the bat. We all loved them. They were honestly really funny. They were really funny characters to play as. I mean, you got Dempsey, the American badass. You've got Nikolai, a Russian who, you know, protects vodka over his own life. You've got Takeo, a Japanese person who is always trying to be honorable, and, you know, says that honor is basically the same thing as ammunition, and Edward Richtofen, a Nazi who seriously loves killing zombies. And all these characters, they make us laugh every time we play a game together. Every time like people play Call of Duty Zombies together on World at War Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 3 or hell even Black Ops 4, they always get a good laugh out of the characters. Unlike how we see in today's modern CODs. I mean, ever since Black Ops 4, yeah, everything slowly went downhill ever since Jason Blundell got fired because the personality in the studio left with him. Now, I'm not saying that it was all his work. I mean, no, you've got Craig Houston, but what I'm saying is the personality left with him. Pretty sure most of the community feels like that right now. Anyways, yeah, we like Black Ops Cold War when zombies came back. There was barely any voice acting. They were like the only voice acting lines that they had was like throwing Simtex and something like that. Vanguard, we got a bit more personality. They were like boasting and shit. But that's basically it. It's nothing else. They aren't like saying, they aren't stupidly generic characters like that I can make fun of and stuff, that make fun of each other as well. That's really oh man, we don't get characters like these anymore in video games, and it's so sad to see that because honestly we all fell in love with these characters. They were really fun to play as and really fun to hear their lines from and stuff. Well, it was really fun to hear their funny lines. Oh man. We don't get characters like those anymore. Rest in peace, classic characters. You will be missed. Yeah. Anyways, so zombies. So you've got basically all these zombies maps are actually based on multiplayer and campaign missions, except for Shi No Numa. Shi No Numa is its own map. Shi No Numa, yeah, it's its only map. It's its own map. It's not based on anything. However, you got Darius, Verrückt, and Nocturne Tone. Darius is based off of a map in multiplayer. I forgot what it's called. We've got Nocturne Toad, it's based on Airfield and like the Airfield mission, the campaign, and the Airfield multiplayer map. And then you got Verrückt. It's based on the Asylum map and based on a building in one of the campaign missions where they're storming through like Silo Heights and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Zombies was, oh man, the best part of Call of Duty World at War. If you want to know more, just go buy World at War and play it yourself. Don't forget to get all the DLC as well, because it is a lot of fun playing all these other maps. And oh man, it is still a blast to play this. I don't care if you have like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2. World at War still is really fun as well. And I don't care if there weren't any Easter eggs in it or anything. I mean, I'm a hardcore gamer. I mean, a hardcore Call of Duty player, but I can still enjoy a good survival experience, and that's what World at War was. It was simplistic, and that's what made it good. We don't want anything too simple to please the multiplayer casuals. We just want something World at War simple, and that's all. And give us a bit of story, but yeah, that's basically a great formula for zombies. I mean, honestly, all these new games have gotten too simple just to please and gain more of a casual audience. But that's not really what, I mean, Zombies was casual from the start, but having it too simple is not what made it good. It was the challenge involved in the difficulty. We don't want to just go after objectives and build a pack-punch ourselves. We don't want to be told how to, we want to figure it out for ourselves. And it was very simple back in World at War, you know, link the 3 teleporters. That's how simple pack-punch was. We got Keener to Tone, we got to teleport to the thing. Link the teleport with the telepad. Just one teleporter. Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm so sad that Zombies has, you know, turned out to be this way now. Because, honestly, it's just become shit. Pure shit, just like every new Call of Duty game as well. Ever since, you know, them giving us free DLC. Now, I'm not blaming Modern Warfare 2019 for this. I love Modern Warfare 2019. What I'm saying is, ever since, you know, the free multiplayer stuff and free map packs, they've gotten less motivated to make Zombies maps for the community, and that's a really bad thing. Oh man, Zombies will be missed because it once dominated Call of Duty. That's about it for Zombies. Oh wait, did I forget to mention? Oh yeah, each new map brought something innovative. In Nocturne Totem, we've brought the entire mode itself and the mystery box. lullabies, of course. And then, I mean, that's what started off the mode. And then you got Verrückt. It introduced perks like Juggernog, Double Tap, Quick Revive, and Speed Cola. Quick Revive's Quick Revive jingles what solo players always hear every single time they play a match. And you've got in Shinonuma the Hellhounds, and then in Derice you've got Pack-a-Punch and the Teleporters. And in Derice, they, like in every new map, they brought back the same elements that they brought back from the last map into the new map to add on to it. Which, oh man, once they got to Derice, that was the formula, the secret Krabby Patty formula for zombies. All right, that's about it for zombies. I really encourage you to play World at War Zombies. It is really fun. It might not find it as fun playing it by yourself, but playing it with friends or randoms, it is a lot of fun. Anyways, time to talk about the multiplayer now. In World at War multiplayer, well, since COD 4 is revolutionary, they wanted to continue the winning streak, so they basically took what Call of Duty 4 did it for its multiplayer and brought it into the World War II setting. And that's why World at War multiplayer is really fun. It is exactly like COD 4, however they actually added things that made sense, like bipods to LMGs, or aperture sights to submachine guns, or a lot of other things, like sniper scopes, and yeah, a bunch of other things. They've even added some unique perks that can only be found in World at War, and a lot of other things like that that's really cool. And surprisingly, the World at War community is still alive. However, there are a lot of hackers on it. It is still a lot of fun to play. It is very rare to actually run into a hacker on World at War, because most of the hackers just play Black Ops 2. Like, nothing else. No one plays World at War anymore. Except for this small little community. There's like 300 people still online who play World at War daily. It's really awesome. Well, on PS3 at least. I can't imagine how Xbox 360 is on World at War. It's most likely like 500 probably. If not, it might be just less than PS3 probably. It is a lot of fun to go around and just play a casual game of Call of Duty. Since, well, all the new ones have skill-based matchmaking in them. And yeah. However, if there's one thing I will say, each Call of Duty game always has that one overpowered thing about it. And for, well, World at War, it is the not one but two things: the MP40 and the PPSH. These guns always claps. These guns clap everyone. They literally do. MP40 just curb stomping people, and the PPSH just grinding them up. It is yeah, overpowered as hell. Like in COD 4, you had the M16A4. But in World at War, you have the MP40 and PPSH. These guns, the PPSH with the drum mag and the MP40 with the dual mags, it's just freaking ridiculous. They don't have any recoil, and they are really freaking overpowered. Man. So, one thing I gotta point out, the hit detection in this game is... I love how everyone just says it's so horrendous. Everyone's overreacting about the hit detection, to be honest. I'm perfectly fine with the hit detection. Well, for the most part, at least. There are some times where it gets frustrating. But for the most part, the hit detection is pretty tame. And it is alright. So anyways, that is about it for the multiplayer. So basically, Call of Duty World at War is the last good World War II Call of Duty game ever made, and probably will be. with a masterpiece of a campaign, like a really great campaign, and of course zombies. I don't need to mention anything else more about zombies. Everyone knows how good zombies is. And a Call of Duty 4 style World War II multiplayer. It basically is completely just a masterpiece. And honestly, I love this game so freaking much, man. It is a lot of fun to play. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Hope you guys subscribe. I put a lot of work into this video. Like I usually always put a lot of work into all my videos. So hopefully you guys subscribe, turn notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.